Hi there, welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome. My name is Hélène and I am looking forward to telling you how the last 12 days went with my usage of a brand that I had never used before. And that brand is Lorac. And I used I'm just looking down at them right now, I used 4 different palettes. And I also wanted to make some use of some Cover FX face products as well as using some of the deluxe samples I have, or full-size samples of some higher-end lipstick. So, well, let's take a look. What I do is I track how often I use the new products that I am trying out, and also wanting to give you my my views on these products. Now, the Lorac palettes are new to me, but they are not new. They came out in 2013-14, and they happen to be in a woman in my city who had them and never used them, and was quite happy to pass them along to me. So, and I'd never tried Lorac. Lorac is hard to get in Canada, so I jumped on the opportunity, and so here we go. Now, it's still useful even though these products are not available anymore, because I think the formula seems to be similar, and we can find similar colors in other palettes as well if it's a color that is of interest. So let's take a look here. The first one, whew, dusty, I've been using it. First one, there we go. The Lorac Mint Edition. And I used a lot, I was shocked. I used these two, the highlight and the blush, a lot. When I saw the blush color, I thought, I'm not going to be using that. I used it so often. I used this whole palette I used 10 times, and 3 times was specifically for these colors, even though I was using some other Lorac palettes. So, favorites, I definitely used the heck out of this color. I used a lot. I was shocked. I used the mint, not the mint, but the baby blue so often. I was so surprised, and it was in my inner lid. I love that. If I have a picture of it, I'll insert it in here. I also was I loved this color, and I was surprised at how these shimmery shades I enjoyed tremendously. The one I did not use was the black. I accidentally, if you look at how I put my makeup on, you'll see I accidentally dipped into it and had to fix it. I didn't really use the white. I found it just, white shimmery was just too much. But pretty much everything in this palette I really enjoyed and will reach for again. I did not think I would like it. I think the packaging itself looked kind of 1960s-ish, and I wasn't too crazy about it. But wow, what a surprise on that one. The other 3 that I used are skinny palettes, again from the 2013-14. I used the Plum a couple of times, and literally 2 times, and I definitely went for this shade a lot, along with this one, and dipped into these as well. But this one was definitely a preference of mine, and I figured that's what I would go for. And it's not because I was worried about the shimmers or anything, it's just what I ended up going for. So like I said, I used that one a couple of times. Now this navy one I used 3 times. Unfortunately, I gouged, my nail caught this one, but I was surprised at this one as well. I did end up putting this gold one along with the blue, so gold in the inner lid, and blue on the outer lid and crease, and it was quite a dark look. And so what I did for today's look is I am wearing the blue, and not this one, but I used the lighter shade in the nude, as I'll show you right now. I used this one. There we go, if it's going to show up. I used this one instead and much preferred it. So let's just take another look at this. Now I tried using There we go. I used the gold color, the navy. I also tried using a little bit of the gray. You'll see a little bit off on that one. And use the lightest shade. I really don't like the fact that there are no shade names on this, but you can't get everything, I guess. And then this matte dark gray, I will reserve it for smoky eye, but wow, it's really dark. And really for a smoky eye, I'm probably going to go to my Naked Smoky. But the blue really shocked me in this palette. And if there is one that I declutter, it will definitely be the navy, because to keep a palette for 1 or 2 shades, yeah, I'm kind of over that. Now the nude, there we go. The nude I had used because I had brought this palette with me to Guatemala, and I like pretty much all of the shades in here. Now the only two, I'm lying here because the two that I have not tried are these, and I think I didn't try this one because the plum palette kind of gave me that kind of a plummy dark fix. But all of these shades I ended up quite liking. I tended to put the more sparkly shades on the lid and use the heck out of this matte. Just like I used the taupey beigey, dark beigey matte in the mint edition. I used that as well. Used quite a bit of this lightest color on the brow bone. But yeah, so there you have it. Those are the palettes I used. I was pleasantly surprised. I really thought that I would like the plum the best, but I used the navy 3 times, I used the plum twice, and I used the nude 4 times. So out of those 3 skinny palettes, I used the plum one the least. But it may be because I had used the plum before. I had actually dipped into the plum a little bit before this whole 12 days of Lorac. So I think that that's what happened there. And just going over some of the other products I said I would use, I wanted to do a focus on Cover FX. So this is one of the palettes. This is the contour kit in N Light. This is what it looks like. So I did not use the bottom shades at all because I ended up using, for cream shade, I ended up using, again, the Hoola Quickie Contour. And so I just, I'm trying to finish that up, and so I didn't go for the cream products. But what I do know is I like cream products, and I'm going to, as soon as the Hoola Quickie Contour is done, I will start dipping into these cream shadows. The upper ones, though, I did end up using this cream shadow to lighten up the T-zone, and then I used the Moonlight highlight twice. And when I wanted kind of a bam highlighter, that's the one I went for. So I thought it went really well with kind of a navy look that I'm sporting today. It is so hot in here, guys. There's a thunderstorm coming, and it's just the humidity is insane. Who says it's not hot in Canada? Finally, I also used, let's see if it'll focus, there we go, a new powder that I have from Cover FX, which is in Sunlight, and that is the illuminating powder in Sunlight. And that face palette, that Moonlight color, that is also an illuminating powder that happens to be in a palette form. A couple of other things. I said I wanted to work on using some of the high-end lipsticks that I have in deluxe form or full-size form. So the YSL in 70, and this is the Rouge Pure Couture line. I ended up using my good old faithful Christian Dior Reflet Pensé, and that is, oh, got stained fingers. This is one that I depotted and I'm almost done using. It was a favorite of mine for a long time. I used the Multi-Stick by Bite Beauty. Really cool. I hadn't used the multi-stick before, and I think that I want to do a feature this summer on cream products. I think cream products are easier to put on the skin than powder sometimes in the summer. So I'm going to probably use that multi-stick again. I used 3 Tarte lip paints. First one on top here, FOMO. Next one, WCW. And the third one, Goals. I like all of these. They're in my project pan. I will certainly keep using them, and I just put them in my project pan, so that's pretty new. I use the Bare Mineral Swag color, beautiful color. I will use it again. And a couple from Ciate. The one I'm wearing today, Voodoo. And incidentally, if you want to match the color for your nails, Sally Hansen has Insta Dry called Go Garnet. Don't these look like it's a good match, I think. Just a note on the Voodoo, it does not dry down fully, and if you, like, I see my nail has a little bit of a stain there. If you rub onto this anywhere, do not wear a white shirt, you'll have lipstick on it. And then I really like this color. And this color is Bittersweet. I was wearing this earlier today for a presentation, and then yesterday as well. Really, really liked it. If you're curious, with WCW, I paired it with the Wet n Wild in Fab Fuchsia, and then the Bite Beauty Brioche, it's called. I don't think I mentioned the multi-stick is called Brioche. I used this 022 pencil, and I thought they went really well together. Finally, I ended up using an Old Faithful as well, the High Gloss by Estée Lauder in 06 Jewel. Not sold anymore, will not tell you how old it is, but I really enjoy it when I want to give my lips a break. So trying to use some of my older products because I would rather use them until they're not good anymore and then move on. So last couple things just to note, I ended up using the brow kit from Benefit all 12 days again. I won't talk about it anymore, but I will be using the brow kit until it is no more because I quite like it, and I like the 4 products that comes together. They just seem to work together well, even though like a brow primer and stuff, I don't quite understand why we would use them, but if you are crazy about brow primer, maybe you can tell me why. And then I used the Cheekathon from Benefit. I used Rockature once, I used the Hoola bronzer once, and then I used Dallas twice. I really like the Benefit palettes. They are very repetitive, like they change the theme, but they're very repetitive in what they include. But having one of these, I think is great. If you want to know what I'm doing next, watch the next video, and I'll be introducing what is coming up for the next little while. Thank you for taking some time with me today. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you like this kind of video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for your time, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Take care.